Okay, today this is just a quick one for all of those out there who are struggling with Forge WebTrigger. WebTriggers are great things because they allow you to do two things. So the first one is they allow you to create an action within your Forge app that you can just trigger by going to a particular URL, and it just fires that action. Fantastic. And the other one is this is such a great tool when you're developing schedule triggers, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to wait for an hour for your schedule trigger to fire just so that you can debug whether it's actually worked. So when you're working on a schedule trigger, what you actually do is you write a web trigger. You see whether that works. You keep firing it until you've finished it and you're happy with it, and then you turn it into a schedule trigger. But there's one thing with web triggers that the documentation doesn't tell you, which is it just says what you want to do is you want to get the URL for your web trigger that you've written. So you just say Forge web trigger and that gives you the URL. No, it doesn't, because what you need to know for this is the app's installation ID. It's not your app ID. It's not the app, not the ID of the instance in which it's installed. What this is the app's installation ID. So where do you get that from? It's actually relatively simple. You just say Forge install list. What that will do is it will show you all the instances where your app is installed. And at the moment, this is just installed in my development instance here as a development environment. And here's the installation ID. Also here, so there's Jira and identity. My app is for Jira. So this is just to show you that is how you get the installation ID. And once I do that, I just say Forge web trigger again. And now I know the installation ID. I put it in there. And there's my temporary web trigger that I created for this video. And there it is. That's the URL that will fire that web trigger in my instance. And that's it. Hope you find it useful.